Hello, everyone. I hope we're all enjoying our long weekend this weekend. No shipping tomorrow. Hey, look at that. Any resellers can relate to that. We're like, all right, we got to do it Tuesday. Always weird when that happens. But today we're going to be discussing my week off from New York there. I had the time away mode, and obviously that means we weren't listing or anything, eBay at all for a whole week. How that affects sales, my whole 5% sale that I started last week, which is ending, I think, next week. Did that help me at all? We have basically a week's worth of data here, like the week after I came back from New York here. So my sales are really starting off slow. I did a few things here, but they kind of started to pick up right towards the end of this week. I just wanted to break down kind of like what I did, different stuff like that. So let's go into what sold. I just want to get it out of the way now. The 5% sale, I don't know how many like direct sales it led to, but what I do know is I got a lot more like watches and ability to send out a lot more offers the second I started doing that save 5%. So I don't know if I'll continue to do it like more constantly or try to focus on my older listings like I wanted to do and give like a 10% off of just my older stuff that's been here for a while. But like this book here, this is a very old book and not like, date-wise old, but this is a book that I had for quite some time. Like this is definitely a last year, like my first year at eBay, picking this book up and trying it. So it's been very interesting to see a lot of my old stock really go out there, really get some traction. And it's been nice in that regard. So I do appreciate the 5% sale. Again, my sales were really slow because I took a lot of time off, the time away mode on eBay, which is very nice because, it's like you can still have stuff sell, but you let the buyer know, hey, it's going to be until, X date that I'm going to be able to ship your item. I think that's a good system, but obviously you're still not listening. You're not getting your algorithm wumbo jumbos, you know what I mean? You're kind of, just kind of sitting a dead fish in the water there. And so it's one of those things where it's like, uh-oh, this is not good for my store. But coming back and really trying out a few things, like this sale has been very good. We have Colleen McCollin, The First Man in Rome. We got, this is a free shipping. I had this book for like a year, $9. We got it out. Anything that's really old, you can tell in my store, is free ship. Because I used to do free shipping on everything, and now I've kind of changed and been like, no. Anyways, if you remember last week's video, we went to New York and we did some thrifting in New York, which was pretty fun. A different experience from when I typically used to. I'm a guy. I'm in the wooden. I'm in the wooden. I was gonna say wooden streets. I'm in the woodlands in the dirt streets. I am nowhere. I could tell you I live somewhere and it wouldn't matter. It's nowhere on the map. It's secluded, isolated, but we have some very, 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 very neat thrift stores. But one of the things we found in New York were these Adventure in Odysseys. Now, this was a very, very good pickup because I paid $2 each for each of these CDs, which is a lot. I normally pay like 10 to 25 cents on CDs, but in New York, I was paying $2. You want to know why? Because I'm getting this much, not for just one, not for just two, three. But obviously, this one's a smaller lot. But we did sell the fourth one to someone else. What I wanted to mention about this one was someone came into my store and said, hey, I want your Adventures in Odysseys. So they came in and they just, boom, one after another, just kept sending me offers on stuff. Like this one I have here for $22. I took the $17.50. He took like a few dollars off of each one. So I think like the 40s that you saw there were like 35, 38. So I accepted all the offers. And so those are going out. I was like, oh, this is great. This guy came in. And a bit of a story with this one. I had another lot of 4 out there, and some guy messaged me. We'll go over this one in a little bit here. But some guy messaged me and said, hey, I already have the passages. All right, I have the passages. Can I have your other 3? I said, sure thing. I put this one in with this lot here, made the lot a little more desirable. Some guy came in. They took them all. Essentially, Adventures in Odyssey, a very good, very double thumbs up buy. Keep an eye out for these. But I just wanted to mention that real quick because typically, taking pictures of stuff, taking stuff off of listings and, putting them in other listings, then you have to relist stuff. It's a lot of extra work. But when you're in a state like my store was in, when it's like you haven't listed for a week, your sales are You gotta do this extra work, guys. It's crucial. I got like a bunch of sales off of sending out really good offers. That's another thing I want to mention. With the sale, I have so many more people watching my items. I noticed. Watch. I pull up my phone. There's like 4 or 5 people. It was and like that's non-typical. Like for my store, I typically in the morning I'll have 4 or 5 or 6 like people I can send out offers to, but to have like that many pretty consistently throughout the day hadn't really happened to me before. So what I would do was I would just send out more than like your typical offers. I would just send out very generous, like, hey, I bought this book for $1. I have it out here for 30. I'm gonna give it away for 20 because I just want something to sell, right? So a lot of these things you'll see I either took offers from people because I got a lot more offers coming in as well, or I sent out really good offers. Basically, a lot of my sales were like manual sales. I had to do something or someone else interacted with it and I decided, yeah, sure. Not a lot of them were like someone clicked on my store and clicked buy. A lot of them more in this, like I said, kind of getting my store up and running again period were a lot more, a lot more labor intensive. Obviously we're just clicking a few buttons, but there was some interaction. There was plenty of messaging. I've been messaging a lot of people. Like this guy was messaging me all night. Oh yeah, hey, mind if I do this? Oh yeah, I sent an offer on the other ones. I didn't even see he sent an offer on the other one, so I took all of them, obviously. But yeah, there's a lot more like interaction with my sales, and sometimes that's what you gotta do when you're just trying to get your store up and running again. Is you just gotta do what you gotta do to get the sale. A lot of times when you're kind of in the flow, things are just selling. Oh, you're getting your typical sales each day, but when you're trying to get that thing going, you gotta start trying some tricks. Is what I'm trying to get across. Because those tricks will help. I have a whole list of things that we have sold. We're going to go on, don't you worry, to them. But they all kind of took a little bit of work, a little bit of extra from me. And, the sale definitely did help get some traction in my store. But with the sale, like the notoriety I got from the sale, I had to execute on that. So make sure you are executing on the increase if you decide to run a sale. Or whatever potential, buyers you have, you are making 100% use of them. You're making sure, all right, I can get these slimmer margins just to get things selling. Unless you just want to wait. I was listing 10 things a day, 10 things a day, 10 things a day, 10 things a day. Like double digits. That's what I was trying to get to every day. And, still a lot of these things. Like I had to send out very generous offers. I had to do the sale. I had to do this. I had to message some people. Stuff like that. You gotta put in a little bit more work when your store is, resting out of the old eBay algorithms. Here we go. Moving on. Sorry about that, friends. I literally just went out to a thrift store, picked up this cute little antique book, Heaven's miniature pocketbook, Catholic prayer book. Very nice, very cute. It has its own little slipcase and everything. 1905. Picked it up at the thrift store for $2. I listed it, and then that day we got it. We got it sold. Sold immediately. I think this one was just a raw sale, I believe. So this one was just nice in and out sale. Like I said, it could be very random on eBay. Sometimes things are just like, hey, wow, that was very popular. Typically when that happens, maybe you underpriced it or whatnot. I never really care about underpricing stuff. I just kind of want to get, money for the money I put in and relatively quickly. Obviously, you can have stuff out there for the top dollar, and that's great. And that might work for you. But for me, I like undercutting. I like pricing it low. If I put $2 in, getting $20 out or so is fine for me. $1 in, $10 out. Stuff like that. I just like trying to get quick flips. I like things getting in and out of my store. I always like to say on the channel, because we say it around my house quite a bit, we're in the selling business, not the storage business. And we yoinked that from someone else. Sorry to the original person who said that, but it is a very good quote, and we live by it. We really do. We really do. This one we've had forever. This is one of those ones we had for way too long. Structural geology. I probably picked this up in a free bin or something. I have no clue where I found this. But finally, out of nowhere, I think someone offered me $370, or unless maybe it's sold on the 5% sale for $370. I don't really remember. But what I do remember is waking up and this book sold, and I was like, oh my God, I remember picking this up. This is another book that just, I've had it forever, and finally it's gone. Structural geology. I would never recommend picking this up. Obviously, some of my early pickups were obviously pretty bad. Again, I was pretty consistent about this always. We show off the, any blemishes or weird stuff with our books, just to give you some little book listing intel. We have some blemishes back there, show off the sides. Obviously, we show off the front. But yes, this is another instance of just a random, really old item that I had just randomly get picked up by the sale. It's very nice. It was either like really old items or things that I just listed. You'll find that to be a theme throughout this video because I'm not kidding. This one, again, this is a pretty, this one has to be more recent, but I don't really remember exactly. I don't think I was doing YouTube at the time that I uploaded this, but again, this is just another nice, it sold off the sale here. You got around 15 bucks. Asimov, guys. Asimov, he is the god of fiction. Always keep an eye out for him. Even some 3 paperbacks like this, you get 15 bucks. That's, $5 for a paperback each. That is really, really good, considering we maybe put 25 cents into these paperbacks, so 75 cents into $15. I think that is quite all right. Keep your eye out for Asimov. Hardcovers really obviously are better, but paperbacks just as good. Well, not just as good, but for me, a sale is a sale, so that is just as good. Again, it says we sold off the 5% sale. I don't remember taking an offer on this one, so yeah, this is just a nice, lucky, oh, yeah, it's gone because someone found it off the sale. Or at least that's what we like to think. Obviously, I want to put this in the video as well. I have 1% promoted on all my things, but that's standard. Everything I have on my store is 1%. Unless it's completely a unique book, but even then I normally 1% it. So it gets into some... I normally think I'd rather have an item interacting with the weird algorithm that they have for promoted listings than to have it be completely abstained from it. Because I always like to think no one, including the developers, really know how that system works. So just getting my, my hat in the race, my horse in there. I just want my items somehow interacting with that. Don't really know how. I put it at 1%. I don't agree with putting at 20%, 30%. I really don't think that's going to make the difference. Maybe it does. I'll have to watch some more videos. Maybe you guys know you have some different information. But for me, 20% of a sale to get it out there, at that point, was it really worth it? You're losing a whole 20%. And you're not even including fees or any shipping costs or anything like that. And obviously, cost of everything else. I don't know. I stick to 1%. I really don't think I would want to give up more than 1%. That's just me. You run your store how you want to run your store. This one is a nice little CD that I picked up a little bit ago. This one, it's just, it's a nice old vintage Disney music I found is actually very good. Vintage music CDs in general I've found to be pretty good, especially from known things, like if it's a movie soundtrack, like of an old movie. Like I bet you right now, if you find the Top Gun soundtrack, I bet you that's probably going pretty big because of Top Gun the Maverick or whatever is out there. But yeah, so the old Disney soundtracks and music CDs in particular, I've listed and sold many of these. So these ones I can just guarantee recommend for you guys to pick up. Or at least look at. If not selling them individually, sell them in lots, because I know that the lots also do very well. So yep, this is another one, 5%. Someone just buy it. Bing, bang, bong, gone. Alright, this one is another pretty recent. I listed it maybe a few days ago, and then bang, it's gone. The Ford at Fox collection. This is just a DVD collection. And I listed it pretty recently, and within a few days or a day, it just sold. So this is, again, just randomly, yeah, we listed this item, and I can see the next few items here are the exact same scenario where I listed it in the same day or the day after it sold. So let's keep going. This one here, we have Detroit Rock City. This is a Kiss, guys. Keep an eye out for Kiss stuff. It's very much a good following behind it, like a cult following. This one, a random Blu-ray, not new or sealed or anything, just a random Blu-ray going out there for 30 bucks. Very nice, very good. There was a bunch out there, and these were selling very quickly, either for if they were new, they're going for 60, and obviously if they're just normal, 30. This was very good. Yeah, not much else to say. Keep an eye out for Kiss stuff. For DVDs and stuff, I pay $1 each for these, so $1 and getting 30 out. That's all right. Obviously, this is an out of print, and it's Blu-ray. So Blu-ray is obviously, way more high tech than than a typical like DVD or a music CD. So yeah, this is just a weird Kiss movie made into Blu-ray. Is now obviously not being made anymore. So we have the $30 disc market here, which is very nice, very rare, as it says here, but very rare as an instance, meaning you are not going to find many just unsealed things for $30. But when you do, you give that thing a double thumbs up. All right. Another one we just listed and it's gone. The Gillette Razor. We all know here at Mantup Cells we are about discs, books, and razors. We do razors all the time here. I'm just kidding. This is the only razor I've ever picked up and sold. And you want to know the funny thing is, I listed it that day and that thing sold immediately. This one's great because it has the cartridge refills. And what's interesting about this, is the guy at the front was telling me why this was so rare. And it's like they don't even make like the cartridge refills for those razors or any of these razors. So keep an eye out for, either the razors themselves or these, I guess these are, the shavers. Keep an eye out for these things because they aren't made anymore. A lot of these things like that, like, for instance, paper. I found this very weird, but I had a few sales of this in the past. I found, like, old Kodak paper or something, and it was sold very well, and it was, like, brand new, sealed. Obviously, this is brand new and sealed, and that's why it sold for so much. But yeah, keeping your eye out for vintage stuff that's just not even made anymore. I guess that kind of applies for that out of production Blu-ray that we found for Kiss there. But yeah, stuff that isn't made anymore, there's a demand, and obviously you want to know why? Because there's a low supply. That's your supply and demand stuff coming back and reintroducing itself into your life. Keep an eye out for that stuff and pay attention in your economy classes because it does kind of matter most of the times. But yeah, this is just one of those ones where I randomly was not really finding that much, and I said, an old vintage Gillette razor. Obviously, we all know Gillette. I put that stuff under my arms daily because I got smelly bits. And yeah, this is very good. This is a great sale. I paid $2 for this razor actually, and yeah, it was just a random thing. It was in its box. I scanned it. Boom! It popped off. I was like, all right, we're taking it. We are taking it. This is another good one. This is the original Adventures in Odyssey. My apologies for my misspoke. There it is. This is the one the person already had. And this is the one I was telling you guys that I really have to communicate with them and be like, oh yeah, so you don't want this one, right? But you want the other three? And they're like, yep. And can you test them? I was like, yeah, sure, I can test them. So yeah, we did a little bit more work to get this sale, but I was happy with it. We got the $40 out of it. Actually, no, I offered them a little discount because obviously they weren't getting passages. So I think we gave them like $30 on it or $35. I can't remember exactly. Weird that it says sold for $40. That is entirely not true because I remember, like I said, there was a lot of messaging back and forth for this one. But we put that disc right there, that CD lot, over to that other lot, and that is already sold. But yeah, I wanted to show off this one. Because, like I said, this is one of those ones where I was definitely a little bit more manual input. I was trying to, make sure the person, had all the questions and answers. I want to make sure I went above and beyond for it. Because at this point, I don't think this was my first sale, but this was probably like my first big ticket sale ever since I was back. Because we had a bunch of smaller ones, which I think are coming up here, that we were dealing with. And it's like, those are fine, but that's like, that's paying for a Dunkin's coffee, maybe. The prices just went up on those, so probably not even that. But no, they weren't that bad. But really, you always want, the bigger the better. You're not always going to get bigger. You're not always going to get better. I always like stressing those small sales because you do get a buildup of small sales, and they do add up over time. But, whenever you see something like, boom, $30, you're like, oh, wow, that's, really relief. You can really get some gas money off of that. And for me, as a college student, that is what it's about. This is basically taking place of a summer job that I would be getting. It's me fully focusing on eBay, fully focusing on my own business, trying to, supplement for that summer job. I can just barely, quote unquote, pay for college. Obviously, my lovely, grateful for them parents are helping me with college, but roughly on the 90-day average, I could pay for my own college, and that is a really freeing experience, and just something to know as an individual, because typically we are fairly weak on our own, and I have obviously my family to thank for allowing me to grow to such strength on my own. Obviously not on my own because we work together, and I think that's lovely. Always look out for your family. Always stick with your family. That's the great thing about family. You are stuck with them, so make sure you make the most of it, right? A little bit of family wholesomeness thrown into this video. But truly, if you, I know everyone's situation is different, but if you ever want, like, some people that really care about you, really want to help you succeed, look to your family. As long as you have good family, that is. I know family can be really sucky sometimes, but my family's always been great for me. My friends have always been great to me. They've always helped me out with thrifting. Even in New York, we went out thrifting and we found these items. We found multiple other items that have been really good. And yeah, they'll come around. They'll even be like, "Oh, what about this book? And what about this book?" Or they'll give me stuff. And yeah, you try to be. I always like saying you can be an isolationist when you're a reseller. You can really boom. You're narrow focused. You're just right down the, all right, let's go to this aisle. We got to go here. We have 10 other thrift stores to go to. You can do that, and that's fine. But I always like trying to talk to people. I always like going out and just, because I know a lot of the people around here. I go obviously further out and I try to talk to people out there too. Obviously, like several towns over or states over, it's like I'm never going to see these people again. Or maybe I will. But it's like, I always try to be, friendly, talk to other people about it. Be open that you're a reseller. A lot of people think it's kind of cool. Not like kind of cool, but if you really explain reasoning, like, oh yeah, I really hate jobs. I really hate having a boss who's, just a pain in the butt. Everyone can relate to that. No one likes having a boss who's just crap. So, trying to, bring it down to, a realistic level, not like, oh, I'm an entrepreneur. I try to be more like, yeah, I'm just trying to get by for college, and all this. And people will be understanding. They'll know what you're about. It's a different life path, obviously. Reselling is not like, the obvious solution. No one tells you that you should start your own business. It's rather, shoved aside as something like other people do, And at least in my, youth, that's how I always found it. It was like never really encouraged. It was always like, oh, get a job, get a degree to get a job, or just go get a job. And it's like, you could do that, but for me, it's like, it's so much more rewarding having stuff sell that you found, that you listed, and that you sold. The experience of getting money that is yours because you have a store and you made a sale is so much different than just putting in 8 hours and then getting like $500 from someone, and just continuously doing that. I just think I really like doing this. I'll always have this with me. I really appreciate the freedom and just the experience of reselling. So if anyone here is just watching because they're like, reselling content's cool, but I'm not a reseller, try it on the side. Give it like a little attempt and give it see what it is for you. See if you like it. Like I said, start with stuff in your house. Do it super casually. It's like 1 or 2 things a day. And I'm telling you that, like, first sale or two, it's like, oh wow, I really did that. That was me. It's like it's a vampire. It sinks its fangs into you, and you really start to really like it. You start to crave the sale. No, not really that bad, but I really do appreciate reselling. Definitely a thumb up more than a year into it now. So that's my little personal anecdote about reselling. We'll keep going here. This is another one we just listed and it sold. Just random guy, Carmen. I don't know if you know him. He seems to do more like Christian music. Yeah, classic hymns and all that. So we just have a little lot here. I went to a thrift store. They're selling these, 10 cents each. Paid 20 cents. Got, $8 out of it. That's not bad. I listed these. And I remember they sold like this, I think like the same day or the next day. Again, very quick sales. Very volatile sales recently. It's either like what I list sells like pretty immediately, or it's it's into the void. Into the void of the other 1,400 things I think we have. We're at 400 feedback, by the way. 400 feedback and 1,400 listings, if you believe it or not. We've been going really hard this summer. we got all our organizing done. It's been great, very good progress summer. So again, 20 cents. Look out for your music CDs, and if individually they aren't strong, as I was just talking to you all about, individually we can be rather weak, but together we can be strong. Same thing goes for sales. A lot of things together that individually really aren't something, but together can be something quite great. But other times, just alone, you got the big booming muscles, just like the Seussical. This one just on its own, brand new and sealed. You get $7. $7. Yeah, that's nice. $7 plus $3.19 shipping. Obviously, we charge shipping on everything. Small sales. Make sure you're doing shipping. Want to know why? $7 minus $3.19 is like 4 something, even 3 something, right? I reckon. And you don't want that. You want you want to get your $7. You don't want to get $4 plus your promotion fee or your 5% off fee and all this other stuff. Small flips, do shipping. Trust me. All right, you'll not regret it. Again, probably like 10, 25 cents into this thing. Get $7 out. Did about as well as something that I had to lot, like the Carmen guy. Did just about as well. Like I said, music CDs can be very great, very low cost, very common where I am, but very easy to flip. And yeah, keep an eye out for these. If you're ever at a thrift store and you're looking for filler stuff, or you're looking for a new category to break into, I would always say music CDs. Super low risk, high in quantity, and on eBay they do fairly well. They sell pretty quickly, not all of them. And some of the lots are very good. Like you can get some good Disney lots or, movie soundtrack lots. Keep an eye out for music CDs. Probably the easiest category to supplement your store with. Keep that in mind, all right? This is another one that I've had for God knows how long. Intensity by Dean Koontz. Just an old hardcover. Paid probably $1 for this. This is obviously not a good flip at all, but I'm just so happy to see it gone. I'd probably either picked it up in a lot or something, or maybe it was in a free bin. It was somewhere that I obviously didn't scan it, and I just kind of threw it in with something else. Because I would not have picked this up individually, let me tell you that, all right? So this is one of those ones I was like, yeah, I'm just happy to see it gone. It's been in my store forever, so it's just sayonara, friend, all right? It's gone. See ya. Sometimes, you got to be scanning your stuff, all right? Don't go out and buy something that you're not making that much on. All right, this is a crap flip. But like I said, you gotta get some things rolling. This is a ball roller. All right, my sales were pretty bad, so having this just gone is thankful. Having a sale when you're at like 0 sales for like 2 days in a row, sometimes, just even if it's the worst sale ever, it can take a big burden off your back because normally that means something else is coming. And if this video has shown you anything, there was some good sales. We had some good sales this past week, thankfully, all right? Star Wars Tales, something I listed and sold literally the same day. $25. Star Wars stuff, guys. It's obvious, right? It's obvious. Star Wars stuff is great. Vintage Star Wars stuff, like stuff before, like the Disney takeover, it can be even better. Like Star Wars book slots. I always do those. Like, there's basically like 2 storylines. There's like the pre-Disney storyline, and then Disney took that storyline and put it in a trash bin. So then there's like the new storyline. Anyways, some of these older comics are very good because they're, desired because, it's the old Lucasfilm. It doesn't say anywhere here about Disney or anything like that. It's all the old story. So it's a very interesting, weird Star Wars controversy. But I'm not really into that stuff that much. But I do know of it. And I know that is why a lot of these old comics or books do have some good value to them. $25. I picked this up in a huge Star Wars bin. It was like $10. And there's some video games that are like $40 each. One sold and then the guy canceled it. Would have been on this video, but he's like, I found a better deal in the meantime. Ugh. Yeah, imagine how I felt when I had like zero sales. I got $40 sale and the guy canceled it. I was like, oh god. And like my only other sale was Intensity with Dean Koontz for $3. It was a rough day, alright? It was a rough day, but we made it through it, alright? We've listed those back up there, and they already have watches on them again, so I reckon they'll sell. So yeah, old Star Wars stuff, guys. Always look out for it. And it's obvious, right? Star Wars is Star Wars. Okay? anything that has like that big name recognition, like an old Nintendo game or any Nintendo game, or oh wow, it's a Mario shirt. Keep an eye out for stuff, or more contemporary examples like, oh, it's a Rick and Morty calendar or something weird like that. Keep an eye out for stuff that's really just everyone knows it, everyone wants it. If you find stuff that's like an old vintage version of it, definitely get it. Dark Horse Comics, I want to point this out, are normally pretty valuable because I just know they've done a lot, and I know I've sold a lot of their Dark Horse Comics, and they're always pretty lucrative. So keep an eye out for this publishing company. Normally I just say to hell with publishers because it normally really doesn't matter, but in this case, Dark Horse Comics, keep an eye out for them. If you happen to see like any miscellaneous comics by them, give them a scan. Because they are definitely one of the more, more valuable. I don't even know why exactly, but I do know they've made some of the more famous comics ever. Obviously Star Wars, but I believe they also did Berserk, which is a very famous comic series, but I'm not entirely sure on that. But that's just going by my vague comic knowledge from what I've what I've read. But I do know from what I've sold, Dark Horse Comics in the past has been very good. So yeah, keep an eye out for Dark Horse Comics. Obviously, not all this stuff is probably going to be amazing, but on the whole of comics I've ever sold, Dark Horse Comics always been a real pumper for us. All right. Another brand new and sealed random thing from forever ago. Really forever ago. This thing, I can't even tell you what it's about. It's like some art CD. Who knows? Art DVD, obviously. But yeah, this is a follow along with author as she demonstrates her technique step by step. Very weird, very miscellaneous DVD movie. Obviously, it has $1 listed on it right in the front. So imagine how someone feels when they're buying it for $13 and it says $1 on it. They probably don't like that. I always try to remove like the price tags and anything like that, but that obviously would mean removing the seal from it, which removes about all the value that this had. We kept the seal, we bit the bullet, we put the $1 on it, even though it looks pretty bad. Like if I'm trying to buy something and I see, oh, this guy paid $1 and now I'm paying, 13 times that, I would not be too happy. That's not a good customer experience. Sometimes it has to be that way because they're just going to get either I could scribble all over it, which also would look even more ugly. It is how it is. All right, this is it is how it is situation. Again, something that I've had forever. This thing I've held on to for quite some time. This is another one I'm just happy is gone. Probably thanks to this 5% sale. Again, the 5% sale, a lot of watchers on stuff, a lot of offers going out, a lot of offers coming in. Very good. I definitely recommend trying out a 5% sale or whatever percent you feel comfortable with. It definitely felt like it did give my store a lot of traction. Not a lot of sales, but a lot more, definitely notification. Like a lot more people were tuning into my items just because it had that 5%. A lot of items I've had for a while went out the door this past week. Very thankful for that. Obviously, we come to the last item, but what do I always do for you guys? I save the best for last, and you goddamn know it's true. We have here the fundamentals of physics. This is a 5-part lot that I picked up quite a while ago. I know I picked this up a little bit ago because I remember when I picked it up, I believe it was still winter time. So yeah, this is a textbook lot. Now I want to let you guys know that the school books are not always good. They're not always amazing, but sometimes they really can be. Keep an eye out for your textbooks, especially ones that are up to date or like a good lot that is full. Like this is a full lot, the same edition, obviously the same cover art. This is a complete set. And even the guy left a feedback on my account, which I thought was very nice. The guy who bought these was a teacher just starting out as a physics teacher. And he was like, oh, these came, the shipping and the packaging was very nice. Thank you so much for these. And he gave like a little bit of a description about the books themselves, like actually the content in the books, and then like about like the 9th edition of it. And again, thanked me for them. It was a very nice feedback. If you ever need a mood bumper, check the feedback page on your store. Assuming you have good stuff, good stuff being written about you. I always like looking at it because sometimes it does make my day. Like, oh, I'm so happy to have this book. Blah blah blah. they're very nice stuff. If you're ever down the dumps and make sure you keep knowing yourself. Know that you are doing a good thing. You are providing goods for people out there. You are giving people what they want. This is gonna help some students out there. Gonna really help a teacher out there, I guess. And I think that's very cool. But again, to talk more about the money aspect of things, sometimes these textbooks can be very good. I picked up a lot of like economics textbooks. Those have been the main sellers that I've done, but that was because they were running a huge sale on like economics textbooks somewhere. I picked up a bunch of them because they were really good. But yes, keeping an eye out for any textbooks really. I've done like old like vintage ones like anatomy and physiology for nurses. I found that out there once. It was like a 1950s edition of that. I thought that was cool. I've sold that. There's been a bunch of other ones, but this is just a physics one that we picked up here. Probably paid 25 cents each of these. And again, I did accept an offer on this. I believe he paid, it was close to, I think it was like $80 or $90 because I had it out there 119. Then he offered like, I think he offered something. And I said, well, hey, what if you, you come up a little bit, and he did. So it was great. So yeah, those are the textbooks. Double thumbs up on those. We'll definitely recommend these books, though you'll probably never see them out there, and neither will I again. But if you ever happen to see them, without a doubt, pick them up. Another video down and another weekend down, though we have kind of a long weekend here, so it's kind of good. We still have one more bonus day. Enjoy your bonus day. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed your weekend. Go on out there and enjoy this hot weather. We have bringing short sleeves, and can I get my leg up this high? Oh, kinda. You saw it. You saw it. I have short shorts on. So, alright, they're not that short. But I'm just happy that it's finally warm out again. Although, I am getting a little moist on the head here. Because up in my garage, it is very hot. And I did not turn on the AC nor the fan. Because I just kind of came up to make the video for you all. To give you all a soldier salute and a peace. And wish you an amazing week. Get back out there. Enjoy the eBay reselling summer. We're going to get back to doing my organizing stuff. We're going to get back to thrifting. We're going to get back to listening. Got to get back to selling, guys. All right? We're going to get back to selling. I can't do these what's sold if nothing's sold, right? All right. We'll leave you to it. Have a good one. Peace.